Today, we find ourselves in the Christian season of Advent. May we each choose to look again at the wisdom and the spiritual insights to be gleaned from the symbolism presented in the Bible, as well as the fresh light that Charles Fillmore has provided to us using his metaphysical view to interpret this story. Fillmore believed that at some part of our lives, we were each destined to take a metaphysical trip to Bethlehem, to the place of Christ consciousness, and then eventually accepting and infusing Christ-like consciousness more mindfully into our daily lives, like giving a steady hand, a loving heart, holding high a candle in the dark for each of us. We now realize that we are not alone. Not any of us, though we may feel that. It is not the truth. Christ consciousness is now and eternally showing each of us the way home. Even though the light may be dark in the pre-dawn hours, we know that we can perceive, even if it's just a glimpse of Christ consciousness. Christ consciousness is now illuminating our way, with its own brilliant light. The unending clarity, enduring, showing us the way if we follow the light of the most brilliant star in the heavens, as we read in the Bible, for those who are willing and now able to release all weights, willing and able to release prejudices and stubborn wounds. Now waiting to be forgiven by our debtors. And for those now ready and willing and able to more deeply come from within, to rest in our heart space, in sacred silence, and then to summons again the all-powerful strength which is our birthright, Look within, my friends, for guidance from the silent voice of your own heart. Your own heart song is calling to you gloriously, seeing you in a light that perhaps you've yet to see. Willing and now ready to receive. This is how we must see ourselves and others. Willing and ready to receive and to accept God's healing love. Can we do that? Can we open our hearts and become vulnerable? And then to graciously receive these gifts from God. These gifts from God simply awaiting our acceptance. The gifts, our birthright, the gifts we hold within ourselves. May we each listen and answer the call of our hearts. For this is God. This is God calling you, strengthening you, helping you to endure, helping you to heal, guiding you along a path to truth. And then on that path to truth, becoming a new and wondrous creature. The impetus for the softening of our hearts, the clarity of our minds, the generosity for others and for ourselves. May we each find the strength, find the love to love ourselves as we love others, to see ourselves in a glorious golden light, a light guiding us as the stars have guided many over the years, leading each of us home, leading us on the path of healing, healing us of all wounds and memory of struggle. This is the moment in time. It is a gift from God for each of us, for us to know that we have the courage to follow the guiding star, following our light within, leading us to higher planes. We each have the power to elevate our consciousness, to sustain our faith, and to become a guiding light like the guiding star in the heavens for others. Bravely, bravely beckoning the next chapter, knowing that you are not alone, knowing you are listening to your heart's call. And as you feel ready, answering the calls for help, for support, for all that is needed. Listening to those small, still voices of those who have yet to share, of those who are calling to God for help, and seeing like a star in Bethlehem, the babe in the manger, awaiting the honored wise men, and then to drink from the endless well of God's love and guiding wisdom that is found there in our hearts. And in so doing, opening our hearts, allowing ourselves to be vulnerable, we begin to gradually awaken to our own indwelling potential and strength, so that we too may follow the example of Jesus, more completely expressing our God-given gifts and talents into the earthly realm, into the material world, into our practical daily lives, doing this through our birthright, our indwelling, Christ-like, higher plane of consciousness available to each of us. This is the star of consciousness. It can guide us to our own unique spiritual Bethlehem, the eternal wellspring of Christ consciousness. Christ consciousness inside each and every one of us, just awaiting our acceptance, our willingness to be a vehicle for God's unending stream of healing light, of love, and of wisdom. Do we have to take this journey on? One may ask. My personal answer is yes. Eventually, when we are ready and willing to receive as part of our unfolding life journey, ready to acknowledge our own worth. Are you ready and willing to fully acknowledge your own worth as we discover on the path of truth, learning who we are at core, my friends, we are God's beloved. Here on earth, learning who we really are at our core. God's beloved, learning how to graciously accept the gifts of spirit, refining our outward expression of God's love and enduring light, one day at a time, releasing all that you now understand you no longer need, letting go, making room will serve you well, and being brave enough to trust that spirit is unfolding your journey, unfolding God's love and light through you, day by day, step by step, fortifying our body temples, clearing our minds, embracing the love available, and learning, my friends, to become an instrument here and now of God's good, God's love, God's understanding and healing light. A gift we must each learn we are ready to claim, and to claim the power to heal, to follow the highest path of consciousness here and now. May we each learn to live fully and to receive graciously. Receive the many blessings in store for you, even the blessings that come in disguise, for they have a way of proving to be a gift of no price, a gift to you in the moment that you needed it the most, realizing that it was God's hand that opened your mind and opened your heart to receive. Funny how that works. It's a God thing. And we can give thanks for our connection, our realization, our love. For this opens our hearts and allows God to become active in and around our lives and those we love, making Christ's wisdom and power accessible here and now in all ways. And we say, thank you, God. Thank you. We realize now that we are each richly blessed. And we give thanks here and now for all that is. Namaste.